What's going on YouTube? Jake here with Venture Visuals, and today I'm going to be breaking down 3 ways to apply a flicker effect to your music videos. I love the flicker effect. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. In preparation for this video, I scrolled through YouTube and watched a bunch of tutorials on how other people do their own flicker effects, but I wanted to make a unique tutorial where I'm going to share some ways that I use the flicker effect differently from the other ways that I've seen on YouTube. So if you're excited to learn about these flicker effects, definitely hit the like button down below and let's get into it. All right, so here in Adobe Premiere Pro, I have some music video footage from a music video I shot called Motivate the Chat by Paris Baguette. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. But anyways, this edit is like hard trap. It has a lot of like snare hits, hi-hat hits. So there's a lot of like choppiness in the beat itself, which you'll see once I start playing it. So I've got 3 examples here in my timeline. So we're just gonna break down each one of these examples. So I'm just gonna play this first example back so we get an idea of the effect we're going to create. It starts with this first clip and then it goes black and then the same clip but black and white, same clip black and white, same clip black and white, and then it zooms in at the very end and then it pops back out. I thought this was a cool variation of the flicker effect. A lot of people just do the cutting but they don't apply the other effects on top of their flicker, and I think it's cool when you combine the flicker effect with some other effects. So you can see here if I click on this first clip and then I click on this second clip, it's actually the same clip, right? It's the same scene, it's the same shot. We're just adding some flavor to a single clip over the part where the drums are rapidly hitting, so check it out. So you want to add this effect over those parts of the song. So we're just going to do this effect from scratch here. I'm just going to copy everything over here on the left. All right, so here we are with the raw clip, so check this out. Right, pretty basic, nothing going on. So we're just going to find the part where the drums start to hit. So right there, you can start to hear it. If I just scroll right there, you can hear the hi-hat kind of start to come in. So we're just gonna start to make our cuts right here. We're just gonna go every frame and just make a couple cuts, right? That's probably good. And we're just gonna delete the ones in between. So now we have this. Good, I might throw in one more cut there at the end. Boom, let's try that. Yeah, so I think that looks good. So in order to get this black and white effect on these other clips, we're just gonna go to our effects tab, type in Lumetri color, and apply it to these in-between clips. We're just gonna come down here to basic correction, take the saturation all the way down. Now you can play around with this if you would like to and make it very custom black and white. And then we're just gonna copy paste this Lumetri color onto these other clips, just like that. So now we have this. So the last thing I'm gonna do for this example is I'm just gonna extend this last cut right here, and we're just gonna zoom in a little bit, right? So it kind of like punches in for a second before coming back out to like the normal camera angle. And I'm also gonna extend it a little bit here at the end. So maybe just a couple more frames like that. Now check it out. Boom, so we kind of get that like punch in on the beat as well. So there's actually 3 effects happening here. You get the little flicker, you get the black and white, and you get the punch in right before it cuts back to the main camera. So I think that's pretty dope. We're gonna move on to the second example now. So let's take a look at this second example, what it's gonna look like when it's all said and done. Pretty similar effect, obviously, same kind of like flickery effect with the black spaces cut out in between, but this time I actually applied a luma corrector to give it some kind of like flash effect along with the flicker effect. So we're just gonna break down how to do this real quick, and you can see here as I move through the scenes, you can see how bright it starts out and then how dark it gets towards the ends. So it's just a really good way to enhance the overall flicker effect by adding a flash in with it. So just like before, I'm just gonna duplicate everything here at the top. So just to explain what these layers are, this top layer here is the animation overlays. So you can see right here, we got like those animations that are like popping up on his eyes and his hand, and they're just very quick animations. Now I did this throughout the music video. I love this style of editing. You know, we got the hand tracing right there and then it kind of explodes. Having animations in a music video is definitely a good way to add some flavor to the overall visual. And if you are interested in downloading some animation overlays like the ones you see in this music video, you can check out my animation station pack on my website, venturevisuals.com. I'll include a link below if that sounds interesting to you. So as we can see here on the timeline, we're actually gonna go from 2 different clips here. So there's the first clip, and then it goes into the second clip. So we're actually using 2 separate clips here, right? So let's just delete this flicker effect for the moment. So the first thing I want to do now that we have these 2 layers lined up is just add a luma corrector to the second clip. This is just going to give us that flash effect, right? So over here in the effects, we're just going to type in luma corrector, and now what we're going to do is just drag it onto our second clip, just like that on our timeline. So you can see now it's popping up in our effects panel. And we're gonna start this flash effect by just hitting a keyframe on the gamma pedestal and gain at the very first spot. And now what we're gonna do is just customize how bright we want this flash to get, right? So I want it to be pretty bright, maybe like that. That looks pretty cool to me. Maybe increase the gamma just a hair. Perfect. And now what we're gonna do is basically just tab over about 6 frames, and we're gonna bring it back down to 0. So watch this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe we'll go 7. Actually, let's go 7. 7, right there, perfect. So it'll be a little bit more extended this way. So now that we're at 7 frames over here, we're gonna come back to our luma corrector, and we're just gonna reset our values so that it's not bright at the very last frame. Now you can see we applied the luma corrector to the entire clip, and we want to delete the luma corrector off the rest of the clip. We only need it for the duration of this flash effect. So let's play this back and just see what it looks like with no flicker effect but a flash effect. Right, so you can see the flash effect. It's pretty smooth. Now we just need to add that flicker effect. So in order to do this, all we're gonna do is same thing we did before, just tab over 1 keyframe at a time, just like that. And we're gonna start deleting these clips in between until it's right back to normal. And then when we play this back, you can see kind of what the combination of the flash effect and the flicker effect look like. So you can actually customize the flash effect and the duration of things as much as you want, but I did think this was a really effective way of using the luma corrector and throw in some of that flicker effect as well. So we're gonna move on to our third and final example here. So for this example, we're gonna use rotoscoping to give us a unique flicker transition. Okay, so we're gonna be using After Effects to get this third flicker effect working how we want it. Let me just play it back how it is right now. So we're just putting the second clip that we're transitioning to over top of the first clip and then cutting the frames in between so we get this look right here. So what we're gonna do is just nest all of these snippets of this clip that we're transitioning to. This will just make sure that we don't have any frame rate issues when we bring it all into After Effects. So once you have them all nested like that, they'll all be green. You can just highlight all of those clips, right click on them and hit replace with After Effects composition. All right, so here we are in After Effects, and what we wanna do is just click on our first layer, come up here to the roto brush, and we're just gonna trace him out of the background. I do a lot of roto brushing on this channel. I love the roto brush. I think it's a great tool for After Effects, and you can get really creative with it. So as you can see, we pretty much traced him out here of this first example, and then we're just gonna come to the second example, do the same thing, double click it, trace him out. You already know, option click over that area we don't want. All right, so I've traced all the different frames now. We're gonna come back to our composition, and if I start here at the beginning, we can see how each frame looks cut out of the background. So now what we're gonna do is pre-compose all the layers by holding shift and clicking all the layers, and then we're gonna right click and hit pre-compose. That'll turn it all into one layer. Now we're gonna hit P on our keyboard, and we're gonna keyframe our position here at our first frame. We're gonna move that keyframe all the way to the last frame, and then on this very first frame, we're gonna slide him over to the left, kind of like outside of the frame, maybe where his arm is just peeking through. And now when I scroll back here, we get this flickering rotoscope type of effect, right? So that's gonna look awesome. What I'm gonna do now is just hit Command S. It's gonna save it back into Premiere Pro. And as you can see here in Premiere Pro, you know, he's cut out of the background, he's over top of the original. Now we're not doing the flicker effect with the background of the second clip, right? So we get this unique look where he's kind of flickering into the second clip. So let's watch this in full motion. So let's watch it one more time. And you could even get more creative with this by applying more effects to this rotoscoped layer, or you could even combine all of the effects that I've shown you how to make today into one flicker transition effect. So as a bonus to sum up this tutorial, I want to show you guys one more way you can get a really cool flicker effect by combining multiple effects, and that is with light leak. So we're here on my website, venturevisuals.com, and up here at the top under shop, you can go to the free pack and you can actually just enter your email in right here and get free light leaks and transitions. It's just gonna open this Dropbox page right here. I'm just gonna click into this light leaks pack and we're just gonna download. Now I'm gonna hop back into Premiere Pro and we're gonna try using this light leak from my free pack to enhance the overall vibe of our flicker effect. So here's the whole free pack, right? You get a bunch of stuff in my free pack. You get some animation overlays, you get some light leaks, you get some matte transitions, and you get some Saber transitions. But we're gonna be using some of my free light leaks to add some sauce to these flicker transitions, right? So we're just gonna click on this light leaks folder. So if I scroll through some of these light leaks, you can see the different types of light leaks we get to use. I think this one will work really well because it's very quick. So we're just gonna drag that onto our timeline over top of where our flicker effect is happening. So we can see the flicker effect is right here. Now all we wanna do is change our light leak opacity blend mode from normal to screen. That's gonna get rid of the black background. And if I just frame through here, you can see the light leak impacting the overall vibe of the shot. Now maybe I want it to flash a little bit more head on with the flicker transition, so I'll just move this over a little bit so it becomes brighter during the flicker transition. So now as I tab over here, you can see the light leak coming in right here, plus we have a rotoscope flicker effect going on, and the light leak right there, flicker effect, and boom. It's a really dope combination. Let's play it back in full speed. Boom. So I think that's a really dope way to use the light leaks too. And you can download the light leak pack on my website. I'll include a link to all that stuff down below if that's interesting to you. So thank you everybody who's watching this video and my other videos on this channel. Your support means everything to me. Every like, every comment, every subscriber that I get on this channel, it's all very, very much appreciated. Thank you guys so much for all the engagement. Trying to get the tutorials popping this year. So if you want to follow along on my journey, definitely hit the subscribe button. And until next time guys, I'm Jake Venner. Peace out.